Hello everyone, welcome again. We're looking at the Nifty again this week. A small addition, I've got a camera on this time. Um, Everything else remains the same, so we'll continue looking at the Nifty. If you need me to look at something else, do let me know what you'd be interested in, a specific stock. I'd be happy to look at it. We've got the Nifty here. The chart that you're looking at is the daily chart. If you look at the monthly, and if you just have a glance at what's been happening since a long time. I mean, this is since 2012, but even before 2012, you've seen a massive rally in the Nifty, and that's continuing actually right now. What's actually happening now is that the Nifty is seeing new highs, and I've constantly gone ahead and given you levels to watch out for. The areas that you need to be really careful about. Three of these have formed very recently in the last 1 year. One formed in March, then we saw this sideways zone here. One formed in July, and we saw some sideways action for about a month and a half. And now another one very adjacent to it has formed in September, the beginning of September. Now the Nifty is above this zone. Like I said in the last video, if you haven't watched it, please do watch it. And do note that this is for educational purposes. This is not investment advice. When you're watching this, note that in the last video I talked about how the price is going to make this an important pivot, right? These two zones, this zone or these two levels that form the zone are going to actually make a very important area that's going to either launch the Nifty forward or make it difficult for it to go forward, right? So currently, given on basis how the price performance is looking, the fact that the Nifty has been above this significantly for the last 3 days indicates that it is playing towards the positive, yeah, towards the bull side. Like I said recently in the last video, that when you are looking towards a bias, looking to see which direction this might head here from here on, this is what you need to watch for. You need to watch for breakouts in a specific direction, and that's what's happening with the Nifty here. It's indicating a bias towards moving up, right? So you can see how this zone's important and how it plays out, right? It starts here, it moves into forming this zone completely, rests here again, forms a top here, aligning with this, correlating with this top previously. You can see how this candle is exactly on top of that level, and it shows a major breakout. This might actually be a good breakout in favor of the Nifty moving up, because a consistent move like that is definitely going to signal higher levels for us, right? Is it possible that it will not test this? No, there isn't a possibility. I would say predicting behavior around these levels is not very healthy. You'd rather watch what happens during these levels and play basis the bias. The bias currently is bullish. So whenever the Nifty dips towards 24,753, all you need to do is buy on dips. And that is the only play that you'll have to play until it signals that it is below 24,753 and it's not able to sustain those levels. It acts as a resistance, then you sell on highs, right? So currently that's what the Nifty is doing. I don't see this pattern changing much. We are headed towards 30,000, 26,000. We've already almost touched it. So our next move is consistently going to be towards 30,000 and sustaining those levels. The big thing with this particular zone, 24,753 to 25,434, with this 700 point zone, is going to be more about how this zone helps the Nifty in the long term attain and continue this bull run that we've been watching since the last decade or so, right? More than a decade in actual reality, but let us say it's lasted a minimum decade, right? So how this zone behaves from here on and how it acts as a support lever for the Nifty to launch forward is going to be very important, because without this and any other new support levers, this is going to be the level that the Nifty is going to come back to. If not today, 6 months down the line, 2 years down the line, it can happen unless this forms a support zone here very strongly. How does Nifty do that? Is basically by consolidating, staying around these levels for a long time, showing us that a profit booking is happening, right? Some selling is happening, reacting to some global cues in receding a little, right? Receding a little and then staying above these levels. If that action plays out like that over the long term, you'll definitely see the Nifty catching another bull run, a very strong bull run from here on. If that doesn't happen, this becomes a zone of resistance. for the Nifty for a very significant amount of time until a new zone of resistance is formed, which changes the condition of the market. So that's why this is very important. This indicator is in the long term indicator zone, meaning that the long run indications for investment, long term investment in general, those have actually popped up these levels very specifically, right? These two previously have been around the medium term investment indicators from my own proprietary system. So these two, you can see how strongly they've played out still. Even medium term indicators like this can be very, very potent for the market, and knowing this can be a big money maker. This area for most people, pardon me, this area for most people was unpredictable, right? This was an area with no money, with very little predictability. People will get trapped at the tops and trapped at the bottoms as well. Would be buying at the top and selling at the bottoms, which is a terrible decision to make without knowing the fact that this is a zone that is playing out. If you knew that this zone was playing out, all you needed to do was simply buy low because it is a bias towards the top, buy low and sell around this area, or buy low and simply hold if you're investing. It's an area to add more to your investments, not to sell and not to panic and not to get trapped at the wrong side. So that's why these zones are really, really important to know. So that's why I'm repeating this, that these are medium term zones, and look at how important these are. This is a long term zone going forward on the Nifty. In about 6 months to a year to a couple of years, you'll see this zone act out very, very specifically. So it will affect the price performance right now as well. It is not that it's only going to play out in the future. It is already affecting the price performance. Every candle that's sitting on top of this zone is a clear indication of it. Every candle that dips into this zone and takes this as support is a clear indication of it, right? But going forward, this is going to be a really, really crucial support level for investors in general to understand how the Nifty is going to actually last over the long term. We've seen a very protracted, very clear bull run on the Nifty for a very, very long time. It's time for the Nifty to do maybe different things or use that bull run stop as a stationary point for some time and then launch again. And this would be again once in a decade kind of investment opportunity for those who are looking for it. This zone is going to be your major indication from here on. There's going to be some medium term zones also forming in the near future. I'll of course, as we go on through this weekly, I'll cover those as well. Those will indicate short term or medium term turns around, and those might also indicate that this might not last, right? That is also another possibility. Or as a matter of fact, they might also indicate that there's further strength building. So that is the Nifty for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked that, and do like, subscribe, and share the video, and do let me know if you'd like to watch something else. Thank you for watching.